Max. It's your man Kev Mac, and I'm back with another episode of KM Video Live Streams. Today we got a special guest, Kokane, up out of Pomona. We're going to talk to him about him growing up and becoming part of the music industry. So right now, here go Kokane. How you doing, bro?
All right. I appreciate you having me on the platform.
You want to introduce yourself and give a little background on yourself?
Well, I'm called the legendary Kokane, hailing from west side of Pomona. And, been in the game, music game for a little bit over 30 years. Came under the umbrella of Above the Law, which is my cousin, Code 187 from Pomona. And, that was my humble surroundings, introduction into the music game, that is.
Right. Let me ask you, where was you born at?
I was actually born in South Bronx, New York.
Okay, you from New York. When did you come to California?
But I don't know nothing about New York. We moved as an infant. So when we moved to Pomona, California, you got to see in the early 70s, right? There's a lot of cats that migrated. Some migrated from Watts, some migrated from LA and Compton and so forth. So Pomona was like a melting pot of a lot of things, even in the early 70s. And you got to realize, even though we was a small a small town, it was a lot of sets and a lot of murders and a lot of trafficking going on at that time. So, we represented the last county out of LA. So a lot of times, people used to come out here and think Pomona wasn't part of LA County when actually we was. So we actually had to prove ourselves. You got to realize we had so many gangs out there in that small town, from Trey 57, and actually before it was Trey's, it was Centown Gangsta Crip. Then you had the Bloods from the islands, you had the South Sides, you had Mafia, you had Angelos, you had East Side Neckland, you know what I'm saying? All these different, you had Ghost Town, and all these different fashions, plus you had the essays too. You had the Sharkies, Cherryville, Happy Town. So you can imagine like ants in a little small jar. It's like, it was crazy. A lot of people used to come over that hill and think Pomona, man, this is way out. This is country. But they found out in a real way that, hey, man, Pomona might be small, but we kicking up dust. But the good thing about it is that it cultivated music too, because we had certain spots and outlets to go to, like Grand Central Station, Club Luciers, the Mount Sac dances. So a lot of cats from LA, like DJs, used to go out there, like Shell of LA, Ice-T, Wrecking Crew, Bobby Jimmy and the Critters, Mix Master Space, Salt Pepper. So we had that outlet because at the same time, brothers out there, before the banging thing, was pop locking. And then at the same time, we had boxing champions from Mike Weaver to Sugar Shane Mosley. So going into the music realm, it gave us an outlet to be able to perform and do what we do. But at the same time, there were DJs actually, clubbing, carrying birds and Suzukis and still banging. You know what I mean? But the good thing about music and what type of essence we grabbed from it was from that small city called Pomona, California, LA County. And that cultivated the style of music called G-Funk. And at that time, it was a cat by the name of Kev Mac who was hustling with my cousin Hutch and Laylaw, and they were connected. They was from the LA area. They was connected to Eazy-E. So Eazy-E, that Compton brother, shout out to my Compton brother, rest in peace. He recognized, man, Pomona ain't no joke. And he gave us an opportunity of a lifetime to express where we came from. And that was my introduction going into, the music world because of Eazy-E. He was a special breed, man. So he actually put Pomona Brothers on at a time to when we didn't really have no identity in the game. But from the yard to the boulevard, man, everybody know what time it is with Pomona. And, that was a place where all the players came out on the blade. You know what I'm saying? Everybody know Pomona for being pimping. You know what I mean? So that's how that started. But growing up, it was interesting, brother, because we grew up in like a blood neighborhood, but the hood, Sintown, and Patty Tracks was, across the way. But we had Crips that lived in the blood neighborhood from Big Turtle to House from Mafia, rest in peace, Timothy, and then you had Keithy Moo from 5-7, and plus my little brother. And we was, lived in the same neighborhood, played on the same blocks, you know what I mean? And it's just a trip that, once the crack game came in, it really turned it up. You know what I mean? And it was just it was different because of that small name. You can imagine, when the crack game came to LA, it was more demographically spread out. But Pomona, man, you could just go on the 10 freeway and be out of there in like 5-10 minutes. Mm-hmm. So it was different, man, but we had to prove ourselves in a real way.
Yeah, you open up a lot of questions for me. Let me go to Sugar Shane. First of all, I know he's a little bit younger than you. Did you know him coming up?
Yeah, I know he was this kid, young kid, and he was like in the 3rd grade, knocking out the 6th graders.
So he had it in him already.
It was in him and not owning, but you got to contribute that to his pops. His pops was always owning. That's why, he turned out to be one of the greatest boxers, hailing from Pomona. And then we had Weaver too. Pomona got some history, man. We bred legends, brother. We were blessed enough to bred legends, put it like that.
Right. You made a point too. A lot of people think that Pomona's outside of LA County, but it's not. Mm-hmm. And I always tell people, you wouldn't see them in a county jail if they wasn't from LA County.
That part.
Yeah, and I was talking to you before we came in. I got a good friend from your neighborhood, man. Yeah. Bad Luck. Shout out to Bad Luck, man. Bad Luck.
Bad Luck. Everybody from the hood too. Wow.
I even ran across one of his little brothers in there too. I didn't know Luck at the time when I met his brother though. But another thing, you said Eazy-E was a good dude and put y'all on. In what way did he put you guys on?
Well, he gave us opportunity. I did a 3-song after Above the Law got signed and was messing with Eazy through a contributing member named Laylaw from NWA and Kev Mac. He always used to come out here and, bring them things. So we had spots on, certain things on Plead the Fifth. They were just in the game, put it like that. And Total Chaos came up with a group name called Above the Law. And Code 187 was running around, and they were group. We was called Hustlers Beyond Control. And then once, Code 187 took me under his wing, I did a 3-song demo at this spot called Jimmy Hot Track Studio in Mission. And then it didn't take long for me to get signed. Once Above the Law got signed to Eazy-E, you know what I'm saying? The rest was history because it wasn't no secret to controversy. My name was given to me because of whatever variety of styles that we came from, which is all essence from the P. And then once I got put on, I did a 3-song demo, Eazy signed me. He said, man, I got my Kokane is every bit of his name. Dope. And that was the type of cliche. We turn it around and spell it to advocate. Like when you hear this nigga funk, you're going to get hooked. So we turned and spell it Kokane. But he gave us an opportunity of a lifetime. Prior to hooking up with E, Code 187 had records out in 1985. I had a record out 1987 with my uncle Willie Hutch. Rest in peace, Willie Hutch, because we come from a musical background. And Eazy gave us a lifetime, a deal of a lifetime, brother. And because he wasn't just like, man, I just want to mess with just LA or Compton. His reach was far more than that. And it's a blessing to this day. And I always give love to because he was a real nigga for doing that.
Where's all your crew members at today?
Everybody's scattered out. You can kind of say it's gentrification everywhere, brother. You know what I'm saying? But the good thing about it, man, the blocks that are on Pomona right now, there's some breadcrumbs of frustration and still banging. But overall, Pomona done cleaned up a lot. You can go to downtown Pomona, man. It's just buildings everywhere. And we didn't never thought it would because, hey, man, just dealing with all these different things, so much death, crooked cops. You talk about crooked cops. We was the first Alhambra department, you know what I'm saying? In my humble opinion. But when I look back and reflect on everything that I was able to do, I noticed that music primarily was a tool to unify everybody. Because at first we didn't get along with San Bernardino because that's IE. IE didn't get along with that like niggas, period.
Right.
But when the music came, and plus there was a lot of essays we didn't get along with and vice versa. But see, going back to Eazy, what made that dude special is that he was able to mess with a cat like Toker, who was a Mexican gang, rest in peace, and really look past the block, even if he was going to get ostracized. He had that vision. And there's a lot of hood leaders out there that got that vision, man, that nobody don't understand. You know what I mean? That's way ahead of their time. And he, you know, through the power of music, he showed us that, hey, gangbanging don't have nothing to do with music. This is something that comes along that can take the sack out of your hand and put a big fat check in your bank account without you looking over your shoulder. So we were desperate to do shit. And everybody in any surrounding neighborhood is desperate to find a way out because it's bullshit thinking you want to look over your shoulder all the time. The snitches and this. So Eazy gave us a cold ass lane to where we didn't have to do certain things anymore and just be us. You know what I'm saying? And really take it back and pave the way for a lot of cats from Pomona, California. One of the cats that's incredible, and not just in Pomona, is Sugar Free. Sugar Free is one of the most incredible MCs of all time, period. You know what I mean? So when you got all these different entities and, you know, it just kept growing and kept growing. And then the influence of what we created out of the essence of Pomona was called G-Funk. You see what influence G-Funk had. You know what I'm saying? So our part in the scheme of things, man, was an intricate part of bringing a lot of people together, brothers that's just, you know, hardcore banged out and turn their life around and set a cold ass blueprint just like Eazy did.
Mm-hmm. When you mentioned Toker, he was from Brownside that got killed in Mexico?
Yeah, he was from Brownside. Yeah. But see, that was deep back then because you already know, just like in jail, we don't trade. Mm-hmm. No, you don't trade. So for him to be able, you know, rolling through Compton and doing what he's doing from the Kelly Park side or whatever, you know what I'm saying? He was able to put that aside. At a time when it was really on then, he looked past that, man. So that made me learn a lot, even though, you know, there's different beefs, you know, Crip on Crip or whatever, blood on blood or whatever it is. He showed us a way that really left the imprint in my mind. Like, look, brother, you know, you just like Nipsey, I agree with what Nipsey had said. The new nigga is the CEO. Is the one that build brands. Well, see, Eazy was onto that. That was our West Coast Russell Simmons, brother. He took what Mixmaster Spade and them did. He took what all these different people did from Ice-T, which they drew the blueprint, and he made a business out of it. You know, he articulated that across the globe. So when he put Pomona Cats on, every time I listen to It's the End of the World and still niggas ain't got no satisfaction, man, E pops up on my head because that was that Compton nigga that put Pomona niggas on in the game to do what we doing now. And then the rest is history. You can look at the tree. If it wasn't no Eazy messing with Pomona Cats and messing with cats like DOC from Texas, and you gotta realize what Eazy set up. That tree was a multi-billion-dollar vision. There wouldn't be no this, it wouldn't be no Cube, it wouldn't be no Buck Law, wouldn't be no Kokane, wouldn't be no NWA, wouldn't be no Dre, wouldn't be no 50, wouldn't be no M, so forth. So, you know, when you have a brother like that, you know, it's hard to find niggas like that, period. You know what I'm saying? So I embrace that, and we rolled the same type of situation out to young brothers out there in Pomona, California now. A lot of brothers are starting to get their head together and starting to get off the block and getting them books, how you protect yourself, publishing, writers, all these things. You know what I mean? Because they have a lane out. Just because you have a lane out there and things got a lot better in Pomona, you want to make sure you be in tune and learn about it.
Earlier, you mentioned the Sharkies. I know in the early 2000s, Pomona was a hotbed for gang activity.
Right.
And Sharkies had a lot to do with that. Did you guys grow up with them dudes?
Man, we grew up with them, Cherryville, Happy Town. You know,
so y'all was cool up until when?
Man, we was never cool.
Oh, never. As kids?
Nah, hell nah. We wasn't cool. They wasn't cool with us. We wasn't cool with them. You gotta realize, I mean, come on, man, territory, dope, all kind of other things. You know what I'm saying?
But I'm saying even before the dope, even before the crack anyway.
Well, a lot of cats that came to Pomona in the early days were black. You know what I'm saying? And then once years went on, you know, neighborhoods started filling up and different other things. It's just like the MX, you know, if they came from where they came from, all of a sudden they just grow, you know. But, you know, we stayed to ourselves, they stayed to themselves. We didn't go down their streets, they didn't go down our streets. It was like, but what the music done, which is a blessing, it allowed blacks and browns to get together. Really, really turn it around because we share certain experiences anyway. And we already know we suffered the same suppression. You know what I mean? So it was the timing that in my humble opinion that came was impeccable. You know what I'm saying? Because it was a matter of time when we was gonna get together to understand what suppression meant, and music was a key part of that.
Right. Yeah, music is a beautiful thing. It brings lots of different people together.
Right.
Because good music is good music. It really gives you a different attitude
and that's why other because you got to think about it. Music is so powerful, you know, through the arts and cultures expressing where you came from. That's why when you go to New York, I go to New York anytime, and they really kind of look at you like, God dang, that's that nigga, or that's them niggas. Because it had a culture shock. It affected the cultures demographically. You got to realize East Coast had an effect on us through hip hop, but our gangbang culture, lowrider, had an effect on the world.
Right.
See what I'm saying? You can go to all parts of the country. Niggas is this, niggas is this. You know what I'm saying? And that's because they identified with our lifestyle and everything that we came through. It was real. You know what I mean? So Rakim set it up best, man. It ain't where you from, it's where you at. You know, so that's what it is.
There's a lot of talk about Drake's top 5. I don't know if you heard about his top 5. Who are some of your favorite rappers? Not necessarily the top rappers in the game, but your favorite rappers.
I'm old school, man. We got gray hairs on our chin, man. I like Ice-T, you know what I mean? Eazy-E. I like Chuck D.
Yeah.
Mixmaster Spade. Shout out to Ken, you know what I'm saying? Tidy T. See, all those old cats, man, you know, ain't no substitution for good. Niggas still wearing Chuck Taylors, and it's 2020. You know what I'm saying? So why fix it if it ain't broke? Those the cats that I like because they, you know, really are the architects. And, you know, the pupil always respect the master.
Let me ask you about, I'm going to just throw one name out there that you didn't mention. What about Ice Cube?
Oh, definitely Ice Cube. Okay. You know, anybody in the 80s is mostly my favorite rappers. Now, I'm not like a lot of rappers from the 90s. You know,
so it ain't just me. A real rapper with some good songs is saying the same shit I've been saying for a while. That shit hurts my ears nowadays, man.
Yeah, well, it's repetitive. See, people don't know the music that we listened to in our era. It was a reflection of us, and it had like when you listen to oldies goodies and you ride in your 6-4 or whatever your rider, it made us feel like it identified with what was going on. If you listen to Marvin Gaye, or you listen to Curtis Mayfield, Gil Scott Heron, we had music to initiate a balance in our craziness. Nowadays, music, show me where the music is today, and I'll show you where the ghetto is. That's why you got niggas snitching. That's why you got more niggas implicating themselves on camera, because it's unbalanced now. You know what I'm saying? So when you have shows like this, it's really Last of a Dying Breed, but at the same time, it's Full Metal Jackets to introduce things that really have etiquette, neighborhood etiquette. You know what I mean? Because people done lost their mind. The internet done made everybody tough and made everybody this, but at the same time, back against the wall. And you already know, a few of us back against the wall, we the ones standing tall. So, with that being said, it's good that, I don't like to bank off this quarantine, but it's good that people are sitting down for 5 seconds and digging in the crates and trying to find out what's going on. And for those that are still living and got their minds right, is able to articulate that and educate these kids, because they need that.
Yeah, I like the way you put that. And this quarantine definitely giving people a chance to sit down and reevaluate their life, whether it's going in crates, catching up on the news, learning new technology, or becoming, close to family members.
Yeah.
So I really ain't mad about this time out we on. I said I was only gonna hit you with one name. I gotta hit you with one more. What about Tupac? You think he was one of the greatest?
There's 100 brothers that I can name. Tupac was my little bro. He used to, we inspired him. He inspired us. He always used to come to the studio, the NWA studio, and he used to be around Laylaw, Above the Law, and myself, and he used to just be soaking it up. He used to soak up, because we had a business dealings through a mutual business partner named Atrian, who was Digital Underground's manager. So he always used to come out here. Back when we did the same game with Mike Concepcion and Nixon Gordons, he was around. He used to come up to the studio and was always around. So he loved how Above the Law did their things, because we would always have songs talking about, sometimes I feel like my day is coming, no pain, no gain, gangster madness. And then when you hear his stuff, because he moved from the thug life into really getting deep, he really embraced those songs. And I'm gonna tell you a crazy story. When it was me, Ant Banks, and Spice One, we just got to do a song with Ice-T. And we was on Sunset at the Mondrian. So we seen Pac pull up, and he was like, "Oh, what's up, Coca?" Because he called me Coca. Everybody called me Coca back then. So we twist to his spot in the valley off Sherman. I remember like yesterday, Sherman Way. And then I'm on the piano and I'm singing something. I'm singing, "Sometimes I feel like my day is coming. Won't you free my mind? Free my mind. Free my mind." Yeah. That type of shit. And he was like, "Nigga, we got to go to the studio right now, nigga." That was just energy. So we go to the studio and we do a song called Fortune and Fame. And he said, "I'm making up a song. I'm making up a new brand called One Nation." You know what I mean? So he wanted me and Spice One to be a part of One Nation, because Pac used to perform with us in 1992 when we used to perform at this spot called Jamaica House. You know what I mean? So, but anyway, he said, "I'm going to go to New York, and then I'm going to come back, and I want you niggas to go to Vegas with me and Suge. We want to go to Vegas." So I couldn't even go, because at that time, Eazy had passed, and then I got a new deal situation with Yella. He had a song called "One More Nigga to Go." We did a song called "This Is for the E." And I said, "Man, I'm kind of busy. I'm tied up." So we were actually supposed to be with him in Vegas, but me and Spice One was doing something else. And then I get a phone call from Be Legit, and Be Legit like, "Man, you know what happened?" I said, "Nah, what's up?" He said, "Man, Pac gone." I said, "Nigga, stop playing." He said, "Nah, man, Pac gone." So I turn on the news. it's just like, you know, I don't care if you're a real nigga or whatever, man, you're gonna crack a crocodile tear, you know, tears start rolling. I was like, wow. And then, you know, it was like when Nip died, it was like the same thing. When E died, KMG, and I look back at all those people that I've done songs with, from Nip, Tupac, to Mac Dre, to Jay Dilla, to the Jacker, to Eazy-E. You know, those cats left something. They left a blueprint. And it's not enough just to, you know, be an artist out there if you don't use your platform to help people. You know what I mean? Especially help your brothers and sisters, to inspire them. You know, especially because they don't have nobody to relate to. You know, they can relate to your testimony. So, you know, Pomona has a whole testimony, man. There's the new cats out there that is soaking it up more than SpongeBob. From my nephew, Gorilla. I mean, that's my cousin, Gorilla Dog. You got Pomona Dre, you got YD, you got SBTV, you got the little homies, you know, Stone and them. And it's just now they're really picking up and understand how powerful music brought people together and what Pomona stand for.
Black Superman was a classic, man.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That song right there, that wasn't even gonna be on the album. You know, Hutch, Code 187, shout out to Code 187. He was that was like the last song. The Eazy was like, hey man, nigga, that's y'all song. You know what I'm saying? That's how he talk. I can't sound like you. Like, hey nigga, that's your song. Because we wanted to come out with California first. You know what I'm saying? That was like one of the first California songs. Well, second or third. And he said, nah, we're going to put out Black Superman. So that was the first major video in Pomona. Niggas wasn't even using helicams. They had a real little helicopter, you know, and we was able to put that record out, and we didn't know it would hit all ethnic groups. You know, when the Browns supported it, that's a beautiful thing. That was called Brown Superman. You know what I'm saying? That song still to the day is one of the most underrated songs, not just on the West Coast, but period. You know what I mean?
You guys, that unreleased song Fame, is it a way anybody could hear that song?
Oh, yeah. You can go online and look at the original version with me, Spice One, and Tupac and Kokane. Yes, out. But from that land, from Pomona, it's the trip, because like I said, Eazy gave us our chance to do what we need to do. But out of that essence, it allowed me to do so many hooks, to be the most featured recording artist in history from the west side of Pomona. You know what I mean? So I'm forever grateful for the essence of Pomona, LA County. And I'm thankful to actually see that Pomona is changing for the positive in certain surrounding cities, from even LA, Watts, Compton, wherever you at, that now brothers is really starting to wise up, in the same blocks we destroyed. We now cleaning it up because we got that condition off our minds, you know what I'm saying? And that's what it's about, you know. People be like, well, why you change? It's about changing your mind. You know, you ain't got to change who you are, you know what I mean? But just change your mind a little bit and uplift these brothers out here that need us, you know what I'm saying? It's not enough for us to point fingers. Nah, if you're OG, you're responsible, you're accountable. You got to lead by example. So I appreciate you leading by example.
I appreciate that. Big Drawdown from Pomona, Ghost Town said, what's up?
Man, tell the homie I said, what's happening? What's up, baby?
Somebody just sent me a message about something else. I was going to say, you want to take a few questions? Because once I mentioned Black Superman, they going up about all their favorite songs that you did.
It's all good.
All right, if you guys got some questions, go ahead and type your questions. I can't get to them all, but I'll try my best. Let's hear it. They said Dirty OGs is hard. I don't remember that one.
We just came out with a group about 2 years ago. It's hard too. It's called Dirty OGs, featuring me, my homie from the hood, Weasel, Big Weasel Loco, shout out, Corrupt, Big Trey D. And that shit is incredible, man. Y'all can go out and support that. A lot of people don't know. Well, a lot of people know it's out there. But at a time when it came out, you know, that fluff shit, mumble rap and all this shit is fluttering, you know, but people are that now that they're sitting down, they actually paying attention. You know what I mean? So it's called the Dirty OGs. Dirty OGs is us.
Somebody want to know if Above the Law is responsible for starting the G-Funk.
Oh, absolutely. Code 187, the creator, really all of us are the architects. You know, you got Code 187, you got the late great KMG. Shout out to my brother I'm missing. You got Go Mac with the sack, you got Total Chaos, Laylaw, and yours truly. And when we came to Ruthless Records, we didn't want to be P-Funk babies or nothing like that, you know, and we didn't want to really be like NWA, you know what I'm saying? We want to, you know, Hutch slowed that bitch down. And he would build around our harmonies. He would come up with a lot of ideas. All the cats used to come up with some cold-ass ideas. And words like balling, chronic, different other things like that. We were the first to put that on the map and living like hustlers. You know what I mean? So, yeah, definitely we're the architects of G-Funk. Back in the days, I used to stay with Code 187, me and Warren G. You know, back in the days, we used to drive Warren G to Santa Ana because, unfortunately, you know, Dre didn't want nobody around him when he was with Mr. Lay. So he stayed with Hutch. I stayed with Hutch. And I remember we used to go to the studio and Hutch and Jewel used to bag. Remember Jewel from Death Row now?
Yeah.
They always used to be roasting each other. And Warren would always talk about Snoop and Warren. I mean, and Nate Dogg, man. I want them to come to the plate, man. You know what I mean? So Warren used to be with us. He know the influence. And back when Snoop auditioned, him and Nate Dogg for Code 187, actually before Death Row, Above the Law was going to put Snoop Dogg out. But see, there was a lot of things going on between them, you know, with Dre, you know, wanting to leave. In my humble opinion, I think he could have worked it out, but you know, something about going in them clubs all the time, hearing that goddamn I heard y'all said it all. Used to be no Vaseline. It was some discrepancies on business, but Eazy was trying to work it out, but for whatever reason, Dre left. And Dre asked Code 187, man, I want to mess with your cat, Snoop Dogg, because Warren brung the, you know, his tape over. And Hutch was like, I ain't no hater. I'm working on the Kokane album. Man, go ahead, man. He's talented. You know what I'm saying? So he shot him that blessing. And then, you know, the rest is history.
What about Chill?
Chill?
Yeah.
Low. Shout out to my nigga Chill. His project just came out today called Forehead. Incredible. And we always used to mix it up, man. If you type in the Chill featuring Kokane, we got a volume of slumpers, man.
Absolutely.
God, that's my dirty brother. He also in the Dirty OGs. Let me not forget that. You know what I mean? He the dirtiest of them all. Dirty motherfucker.
Well, I don't know if you know. I don't know how much y'all talk, but he's supposed to be on Monday, him and MC8.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, MCA project just came out too.
Right.
And you know I'm on both of them.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'll be looking forward to that.
Man, you know, when you get to a certain level, it starts to be fun. You know what I mean?
I'm sure.
When niggas is dying and you losing loved one, it's not fun no more. You know? So I just thank God that I'm able to have fun. And plus my daughter, you know, she's the third generation of musicians, and she's, you know, it's a blessing to be able to put her on and lead her in the right direction, because really these young females need a solid foundation, a father and a mother. And like I said, we push that family line, you know, and everything else, you know, fall into place.
You got 8 kids.
One woman.
All by the same woman.
Been with her 36 years, brother.
That's a blessing. So
Yeah.
y'all was still kids, basically.
Yeah, we was kids, man. But see, I did it right, you know. I'm old school. I did it right. I took her to my grandma, my grandparents raised. That was like my mom. And she gave the blessing and, you know, became my wife.
That's a good thing, man. Props to you for that. Most of us can't find a woman good enough to be with that many years and have all the kids by the same woman.
That's the importance. That's the importance. Not to cut you off. That's the importance of family. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like when we all started off, your gang was your family. Then the tribulation came through, backstabbing.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't the outside niggas more so than the inside niggas hating on you.
Absolutely.
It became unbalanced, you know. So we try to. One thing we pride ourselves on is showing that in life you have to have a family structure. You have to have somebody you could take your cape off and lean on because everybody ain't strong. They always expect the nigga that's the strongest nigga in the room not to have a breaking point. Well, everybody have a breaking point. You know what I'm saying? So I take pride and represent what the elders wanted me to represent because it's really tribal.
Mm-hmm. Man, that's a good thing though, right there, man. Let's see, let's see, Kokane, No Dang, Black Love, Warren G produced what album? How was it working with Nipsey?
Huh?
How was it working with Nipsey?
Exceptional. I seen something and he was, you know, he didn't have all this on his ears.
Right.
Something I was able to work with him over the years, be on his mixtapes, Mr. Untouchable, just a lot of stuff, you know. And I seen his elevation, and what made him so special to me is that he wasn't talking all the time. He was doing more listening. You know what I mean? And that's what a lot of brothers, they have intentions to go ahead and make it. But the only thing that's going to make you make anything is knowledge. Once you get the knowledge, then you got wisdom. See, he's in search of the wisdom at an eon. You know what I mean? And he set out a blueprint in his early age that, in my humble opinion, he did what most couldn't do. You know, man upstairs picked him, I believe, to be a martyr, to set this blueprint up for us to do what we need to do. Especially because our generation is our generation, but no, we need to go after the 10-year-olds now. We need to go after the, 18-year-old because that's our future. And we want more futures instead of funerals. You know what I'm saying? So, his legacy will continue on and hopefully people can pick up that and that'll help them alter, and make certain pivots and wise choices. That, hey, man, things ain't what they used to be no more, man. Like, you look at the Tekashi 6ix9ine, it's like, it's weird to me because it's like the fucking Twilight Zone, fam. It's like we wasn't raised, but then it was inevitable to do that because there was no real life in gangbanging. There's no life in gangbanging. You understand? We understood why niggas did what they did because of fatherless homes, moms on drugs or whatever. But now it's getting to the point to where we have to articulate our mind, you know what I'm saying, and not just these. We have to do this right here. So that's what it is.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because the whole time I'm looking at you and I'm thinking about asking you this question. You're an intelligent dude and your thinking is on point because you basically kind of like myself, but you more articulate than me and more seasoned in front of the camera than myself. But at what point did you become mature and educated like this, or was you always this way?
Nah, pain and struggle.
At what age? About what age?
Oh man, mom's on one. It's the typical story. Moving house for house. Seeing things I ain't had no business seeing as a child. Growing up with that pressure. You know, all these things I came out the womb like when I was 3 or 4 years old. You know, 5, 6. You see my mom get her ass beat. You know what I'm saying? So imagine that. You know, if it wasn't the blessings of my grandparents, you know, my mom, praise God, Allahu Akbar, she changed at the right time. Praise God. But my grandparents took me in, brother. And people think just because, you know, you have parents that was in, because my dad was in the music industry, he had a slew of hits. He was one of the greatest writers and composer in Motown. From Just My Imagination, Papa Was a Rolling Stone, Keep on Trucking, that's some of my dad work. You know what I mean? But at the same time, the way that era was, it was like the Heartbeats movie. So niggas wasn't getting chipped off in the game like that. My dad had to suffer. And for reasons I couldn't say, because I can't really explain it, I'm gonna have that in my book. I had to live with my grandparents. My grandmother said, nah, man, you off the chain. Made my mom sign over the rights. Because man, I don't like to go into so much in detail, but I'll tell you that it was rough. You know, it was very rough. It was deep, dark depression. It was a lot of anger issues. You know what I mean? And I carried that luggage with me, but through the expressing myself, my struggle and my pain on a piece of paper, it allowed me to release. You know what I'm saying? And that's why the greatest book writers come from the pen, fam. You know what I'm saying? Because they, you know, they can relate because they've been in it. And it's like you tell all these kids or whatever, like we are the modern day preachers, not to be all have a kumbaya moment, but we are the modern day preachers because how you gonna listen to a preacher that ain't never been to it? They can't relate to you. So
yeah, that's always been my
that curse broke up off me. It's only because I moved out of my environment. I cleaned myself up. I stopped feeling sorry for myself. I understood God's design. See, the same people there that are there in your corner was always there to help design, build character, because only pressure makes diamonds, not zirconium. So I was fortunate and blessed enough to have a beautiful wife, no matter if I was going back to jail, no matter if I was just on one, just doing wrong shit, you know, she stood in the doorway and said, that's my nigga. I got him, no matter what. And, you know, I deserve hell. You know, I know when we think back and all the things that we've done, we deserve the pit. But then God's mercy is so great on you, you start to understand. And then that way you butter up your heart and take some of them bunions off. And you understand what being a real soldier. A real soldier ain't continue to go down a repetitive road expecting different things to happen. That's the definition of insanity. But once you break those conditions off of you, you can really start to see this matrix system for what it is. And it's much more positive things for brothers to unite as opposed to continue to go down this repetitive road. So if we could be a puzzle piece, can't do it all, but if we can be a puzzle piece to help these young brothers, whether they're from Pomona, whether they're from LA, it's something like this, we doing our job. We doing our hood civil duty.
When you drop your book, man, I want to buy a copy. I need you to sign it for me, man.
Oh man, black man, I got you and then some, brother. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I like where you're coming from, man. Because from my standpoint, from my viewpoint, a lot of us black dudes that was involved in gangs in LA County or Southern California, we mature at a late age, man.
Yeah.
Late 30s, early 40s before we really think we figured life out in a better manner than we did when we was young. Because when we young, we think we got life figured out.
Right.
And we don't even value life when we're young.
Right.
But as we get older, you know, I see a lot of brothers that become like you, but, you know, on the same page with the thinking, the mentality.
Right. Now, man, it's like I always tell people, it's funny. All sperm cells don't get to the egg. There's only 1 out of 10 or 100 million. So, but that one mind, man, that one mind, you see what Lil Red did to Malcolm X, and that one mind, if you just pivot, like, shoot, You know what I'm saying? The universe is going to, because you got to realize everybody gonna see all these blessings come and the same blocks you destroyed, but because of what you focus, what you read, everything that you thinketh will come your way. You ain't even gotta ask for it. You know what I mean? Because God weighs the heart, not your lip service. He weighs your actions. So as long as we continue to have brothers to be in this melting pot that lead by example, you got to realize on this third stop, on this Nina Pina Marina, there's a resurgence. God is waking up people. I don't care if you're Muslim, Christian, whatever. You better believe in the God right now. He's waking up the chosen one, because we are the chosen ones.
Yeah, we got to wake some of these dudes up in here, man. Not to be hard on my crowd. A lot of these dudes get at me. And I don't know, some of them may be trolls, but they get at me. They don't believe in God at all. Well, look, before Kokane leaves, tell him to give us the way he came up with Stay on Point like Stacey Adams on the Snoop album. The studio.
We was in the studio. I was in the studio with my boy Young. And, you know, Pomona's known for staying sharp and surgical tools on point. It was like, oh, man, that's on point like Stacey Adams. I was like, what? That's hard. We stay on point like Stacey Adams. Put it on the track. History, you know what I mean? So big ups from Snoop, man. He really was influenced by Pomona Cats, and he also gave Pomona Cats opportunity as well. So, you know, it's about giving love for love. Ain't nobody bigger than nobody. You know what I'm saying? We got real ones everywhere. So, you know, I just appreciate y'all giving us this time to shine, you know, especially from the Pomona Corps.
Oh, ain't no question, man. Hey, this is my co-host Loco right here. Loco.
What's going on, Kokane?
What up, champ? How you doing?
Hey, man. Hey, big fan out here in Texas, man. You know, I'm out here in the San Antonio area, man, where I grew up. You know, man, we was bumping above the law, man. You know what I'm talking about?
Man, I used to be out there with my partner Screw. Rest in peace.
For sure. Yeah, South Park.
Yeah, man. But we got love for Texas. My mother-in-law live out there, man. How you doing, brother? In this bullshit ass times we living in.
Man, I'm all right, man. I'm doing all right, man. I'm just glad to hear. I got a chance to hear some of your testimony and stuff, man. And yeah, big props to you, man.
Man, all glory to the Most High. I appreciate you, King.
Already, bro.
Yes,
hey, Rap God said to ask you about the Pimp Clinic gang.
We're working on that right now. You know what I'm saying? It's Mexico last project, man. We really reintroducing that Uncle Sam's curse type thing back into the forefront. There's a lot of projects coming out. It's the Sugar Cane. Me and Sugar Free got a project coming out 2021. The AOGF Architects of G-Funk I got with my cousin Co 187. So we pride on bringing this mothership back, man, because the mothership had to leave for a minute. It was too much of this bullshit going around. But the mothership is back, and shout out to my nephews. They've been putting it down. You know, there's a lot of cats in Pomona and a lot of youngsters, period. You know what I mean? But thing I would say to the youngsters is, you know, in order to really make a business out of it, you got to sit yourself down for 5 seconds, which you ain't got no choice. Put the blunt down, read some tutorials, you know what I'm saying, and get the knowledge you need to go ahead and push your brand out there. So that's my advice to everybody. And you can do it, man. They think hood niggas is just unintelligent. Nah, we the most intelligent niggas in the game. Just
right.
There's so many brothers that could have made it to the NFL and NBA. You know what I mean? So we want to take our freedom, this 86,400 seconds in the day, to go ahead and get some good game.
Hey, when I said Rap God, you know him as Daddy Cool.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, Daddy Cool?
Yeah.
Oh, that man! Shout out to Daddy Cool, man. He started with us too. You know, he used to be kind of like skinny like me, all swole and shit. But that's my brother. We used to call him Daddy Cool. You know, he was the original big worm with a big perm.
He still got that long perm.
That's dope, man. That's what I'm talking about. And these Kodak memories, brother. You know what I'm saying? It's we need to do it. You know what I mean? We used to have, wasn't nothing like having cookouts, and we need to introduce the respect back in the game, but come from it from a different aspect. Because when my grandmother would say, turn that loud ass music off, and it'd be like 13, 14 gangbangers out there, niggas drinking 40s, whatever. We would say, okay, Miss Yamini Celine, and take that shit down the street. But nowadays, if Granny say that, they going up there on pills and shit and slapping the shit out of Granny. Nah, we know better than that. And it's accountability for us as OGs to go and say, young brother, you're better than that. I'm not here to change you. I'm just here to tell you, little nigga, you're better than that.
Right.
Yeah, I told Loco you was expected to come on. He was like, oh man, Above the Law was the shit, man.
Yeah, man. I was trying to check into this hotel, man. Goddamn, they took the longest. You know how that shit go when you want to do something, man. They take forever.
Oh yeah, this dead, man. On top of the virus, paranoid.
Man, y'all got so much, like I say, man, y'all had a different style even back then, bro. Y'all was with down with, you know, Eazy them, but you could tell Above the Law from them. You know what I'm saying? And no disrespect to them, because I loved it all, man. But y'all just had that sound. Y'all to me were the Houdini of the West Coast.
Man, good looking, man. Good looking.
You know what I'm talking about?
We contribute that to Uncle Willie Hutch. If anybody know Willie Hutch, big in the game. Brothers gonna work it out. ABC did the Mac, music scores, all kind of shit. So, and plus my dad, if you look up Jerry B. Long Sr., all that music, the composer, orchestrating, directing from Just My Imagination, Marvin Gaye, Trouble Man. That's Jerry Long Sr. I'm Jerry Long Jr. You know?
Okay. Yeah, for sure.
Music is kind of like, you know, been in our DNA, you know, since it came out the boom.
I mean, you know, question too.
My favorite jam was the last song, man. I know it might sound crazy, homie, but the last song, man, I used to dum. Man, that bitch used to go off. I might jam that in a few minutes.
Hey man, you got them records, Living Like Hustlers. They wasn't blueprint. There was something. There was theme songs for music like us, real hustlers, real go-getters, niggas that seen past the block, real D-boy shit. You know what I mean? And then later we did the Black Mafia life. It's not what you know, it's what you can prove. You know, we were ahead of our time. You know what I mean? It was really black. Above the Law put out real black music. Above the Law and Kokane put out black music. It wasn't nice. Wasn't no doobie in your funk. It was like return of the real shit. Gang bang, niggas walking the yard. But it made people feel like, damn, this is me. I feel this shit.
Right.
So, you know, it made good for brothers that walk the yard from Pomona, California, because they, you know, when they put on Above the Law record, you know, everything will be all right. You know, I put up, someday we all gotta go, but you never know. Niggas would feel good because niggas would be hurt. Real talk. Lost a homie, lost this, but they could put on Above the Law and Kokane record, smoke one, whether it's water or whether it's weed. Yeah, my man.
Yeah, bumping that Living Like a Hustler. Come on, man.
Yeah,
Can't miss me. Yeah, that was the good old days right there, man. That was when that time would never come again, you know. And the guys that are chasing that time, which meaning, you know, in the gangbang sense, I tell all the little homies, man, that time that already came and went. It'll never come back like that. It was that whole realm, that whole aura. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, y'all held it down, bro.
Man, I appreciate that, man. Like I said, Eazy gave us a chance of a lifetime. You know, him, Laylaw, and that's what we got to, you know, bring back. Respecting each other, brother. You know, if you lead by example, brother, you don't have to disrespect that brother. I don't care what set he claimed. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, why wait for a cracker or a CEO to get you in deal so you can start being together when you should do the shit your damn self right now?
Right.
You know what I mean? So we wise up and we still I'm still two-stepping. I mean, I believe this type of music we do is really coming back because people need something in their life through the struggle. And who ain't struggling? There's people losing their jobs. There's people losing this. So I encourage all artists out there, stall the fluff thing out and put some real shit, medicine in your food, because people need music to identify with right now. But as far as cocaine, what happens in my house, I'm going to continue to give you the business.
That's right.
Hey, man, in 93, I bought an old Cutlass. I freaked it out, had the music, sitting on Dayton's in 520s. I had monster music. I'm talking about monstrous. I used to bump VSOP all the time.
The VSOP. Yeah.
Yeah,
that was good.
So you can even hear some of the influence right there with KMT. Everything is fine when you're rolling with your homies. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, it's a blessing to, we didn't check into the game like thinking like, oh, this would be this. We didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
We just coming up with the style of music we love from Pomona, California. You know what I'm saying? But years later, through consistency, I trip. I got to take my hat like, wow, man, the G-Funk and just the gangster rap, because we didn't call it gangster rap at all. It was reality rap. White media got a hold of it and coined it gangster rap because they figured some niggas shagging and gangsters or whatever. So we rock with it just like white folks named us niggas. We kind of rock with it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It became what it became years later, man. Like, it's incredible, bro.
Kokane, was you signed to Doghouse?
Yes, I signed it. At first, when I came to Doghouse, I wasn't signed. 1999. Before then, I was with my homeboys from Street Institutes, from Pomona Block Crib homies. And shout out to LA, rest in peace, Hat. And we had a spot over there in Upland. And, Too Short used to come there. This was like in 98. Too Short used to come around. Trady was always working with us. We was messing with my boy, rest in peace, Godfather, the Booyah Tribe, Red, and Half Dead used to come up there sometime. So, Cuz lived down the street. Snoop, he lived on the outskirts, which is considered Pomona, which is Claremont. And we shot a kite through each other through Half Dead, and we got together. And then he said, man, I liked your shit before you even came, because I met Snoop before he was Snoop Dogg. You know what I'm saying? So we squashed the funk and went to the Music Grinder, met up with this cat named Meech. He said, I'm starting this group called Eastsiders. I met Goldie Low, Benno, and Trey D for a minute. And the first song that we did was dun 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 dun, oh, boom boom. So we did that type of shit with the Parliament, because I'm fashioned at the Parliament. And the rest became history. Started doing LA Niggas and all these songs over there. And actually, I was supposed to do only 2 songs on the last meal, but dude ended up using 9. Snoop ended up using 9, and it kind of gave him a different sound and approach prior to the No Limit was one thing, but the last meal totally directed his whole concept. And then we had Deuces and Trays, the Eastsiders. Now, in my humble opinion, Doghouse, when it comes to the West Coast, outside what Top Dog Entertainment is doing, we couldn't go nowhere. We had that bitch on lock. You know what I'm saying? Got a Nate Dogg next episode, Chronic 2001. So I wasn't signed then. I was out in New York taking care of some business. I was working with Prodigy from Mobb Deep, rest in peace. Did some songs with him. And Snoop was like, man, I got this situation with MCA, man. I want you to get on board, man. So I was going to do something else. But no one can question my loyalty, even if you offer me $1 million, which I was getting offered that. But then I said, I'll go. And she said, I got you, Coco. Whoa, whoa, whoa. So I ended up signing the deal, but at the same time, MCA was on the way of filing Chapter 11 bankruptcy. And once I signed, everybody disbanded. Y'all know the story. I don't need to get in deep. Everybody disbanded. I went my way, waited out a year. gave an inducement letter because of breach of contract and got the fuck up on. Dog went his way. Trady went his way. He had to do some time. Goldie Loc went his way. Doggy's Angels did their thing. Superfly. It was just, that's what it was. So when that time happened, it was a deep, dark depression for me, brother. There was people passing in my life. I was going back to jail. And I was sitting on my bunk, right? Because I'm in the movie called Old School. I'm sitting on my bunk. I said, I'm tired of this shit, man. Tired of all this shit, right? And I would hear a voice in my head, move to Seattle, move to the Northwest. Like it was faint. But then more and more I sit on my bunk. You know what I'm saying? I'm like reading. I see something on the television. Seattle, Seattle, Seattle. So I get on the phone. My girl be like, hey, man, I just seen a bunch of stuff from Seattle. So that, in that instance, that was time for me to move on. You could never told me I was going to move out of California. You know, that allowed me to get away from my environment. You have to, in order to change, you got to get away from the conditions that's in your environment. So we moved up here, and it wasn't easy. You know, starting from scratch is never easy, but we did. And it was rough the first 2 years, but then things started getting easier and started getting easier. And of course, I would go back home because I consider myself now a Pomona Globetrotter. You know what I mean? I would always go back home. But then when I came up here, it did my kids so much good because they were the sacrificial lamb. They are the sacrificial lambs when whatever the parents go through. Kids ain't stupid. The parents are stupid for trying to play kids stupid. So I got up here, brother, and then he just turned everything around. It was hard at first, but God will test you, you know, and I was able to get it together and then go back to Pomona and bless a couple of homies. You know, I want you to make it like the song I said in Wrong Idea. I want to see you come up like me. Why? You know what I'm saying? So I did a song with BG Fever from the West. We did something. Pomona City Movement was moving at that time. And just started getting, you know, feeding certain youngsters certain information, certain business techniques, certain theories, certain angles. And it's a blessing, man, because I've been up here going on 14 years, brother. And it's been a wild ride, but the kids are doing good. Got kids in college. Wifey's doing good. Me and her have a business called Buddy Boy Entertainment. And we take this testimony to go back. You know, there's a lot of things that we do not on camera. You know, it's between me and God. You know what I mean? So that's what I pride myself on. To overcome yourself, you got to get out of your environment. You know what I mean? So I had to get out of my environment. But one thing that I didn't forget my environment. I came back home every time.
That's real.
That's
real. Yeah, I always say people, places, and things, man. You know, when I got out of prison, man, you know, I knew if I came back to the same thing that I was used to before I went to prison, I knew it was going to be the same old, same old. So I went somewhere completely different. Didn't nobody know my name. You know what I'm saying? I was able to start over fresh again, man.
Yeah,
so
how are you doing, brother?
Huh?
And how are you doing?
Oh, man, I'm great, man. I'm talking about wonderful. You know, I like to just come in and visit and get right on up out of there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I do. Well, there's a lot of cats that move to Victorville, LA. You know, shit didn't change, but we always have Pomona in our heart. There's some cats that still live out there. You know what I mean? And I'm always giving brothers a game, you know, for those that had an attitude, because your attitude determines your altitude. You know, you can't fuck with everybody because they got the wrong, they think you owe them something. Nigga, I don't owe you shit. But I'm going to give you this fish. I'm going to teach you how to fish, my nigga, but you ain't interested in bringing your fishing pole. And I'm not going to do all that. You know what I'm saying? So wherever my instinct goes to, I like to give a word of encouragement to these young brothers because I done been through so many I done felt all the emotions of the struggle, what they're going through. And it humbled me, homie. I carry this ball of chain of humiliation, homie. You know what I'm saying? For a reason, to let people know if I can do it, if If this brother can do it, you can do it. Anybody can do it.
You was one of them that was on the block every day, right?
All the time.
All the time.
Yeah, all the time. We did our video, sent him all the time. Little babies was young. I look at the little homies down. I'm like, you sure did get big. You big enough to go bury him with a toothpick now, huh? But I look at it, and whether I was fucking up or whether I was there, I was always in the land. I never did leave the land until God told me to leave for my family. But I always go back home. My brother just got out of jail, which is good. You know, shout out to Bilal. And he did 11,200 days. You know what I'm saying? In Ely, Nevada. And the way he sounds now is just totally different. You know what I'm saying? Like he helped a lot. So many brothers in the correctional facilities. It's amazing, from all hoods. So when you get older, with age comes wisdom. You're supposed to get wise. So I encourage, you know, all cats to grow up fast.
So did your brother do fair time?
He was in penitentiary.
State time, 30 years?
Oh man, he got a cold book called 11,200. Every day they was pushing his face in the toilet stool, beating on him. He almost, man, he like some Shawshank Redemption. And he looking good and sharp. And you can't tell, he's shorter than me, but he cocky. He was the nigga, don't underestimate that nigga because he's short. You know what I mean? And he did all them years and he wasn't able to see, you know, a lot of hurt was on him. He wasn't able to see grandmother pass, you know, go to the funeral. But he know, and I know that our grandparents is with us because we doing right by her. You know, she wanted to do better for him. She sent him to Job Corps. You know what I'm saying? She didn't want him being around certain people. You know what I mean? She sent him away, but she moved him from the frying pan into the boiling pot, and that was his call. That was his destiny. Me, after that happened, I stuck more with the music because, yeah, I was doing silly shit back and forth, but music was primarily my way out. So I always would do talent shows. I always would follow behind my cousin Hutch after he do shows. And I knew I wanted to really make a career out of this music. And I did exactly what I wanted to do.
So are you the one that carried the burden for 30 years of taking care of your brother?
Oh, yeah. We all, my cousins, all of us. You know what I mean? There was times I couldn't help. There was times I couldn't sing. There was times he was locked away in holes, putting in work. Oh, he was cold. But it's amazing when God just touch your life because he's supposed to do life. He got out on a loophole. He got on a loophole. We were praying. That's something that prayer, I keep telling folks, man, prayer works. Just because you can't see it, you can see it, feel the wind when it blowing your skin. So he finally got his chance. He met a beautiful woman and really said, you know what? I'm going to get you out. And when we thought he wasn't even going to get out, she found the loopholes and sure enough, got him out. And when I hugged him, boy, that was like 30 years of just anguish. You know what I'm saying? And it felt good because my brother's home. And when it's like, when you look at us, we ain't so different than the next nigga laying down in the pine box. So who are you? You know what I mean? And it's good that he has a testimony and he helped so many lives, you know, turn brothers' lives around, especially in the correctional facilities, because look what they're doing to us. You got more niggas in jail in the world, you know, but cats like us, we're going to make that big difference. Please believe it.
That's real.
I'm laughing because like 10 minutes later, they still trying to figure out how many years is 11,200.
11,002. Yeah. I was doing it at first until y'all gave it up to my 30 years.
Said it a few times. So I guess they just looking, they not listening.
Yeah,
But
it's 31. It's past 80. Yeah.
So he got out without no paper, no parole, nothing like that? Oh man, that's lovely, man. That's a real freedom.
Yeah, got a good job setting up a program right now. I got him on the line talking, introduced him to brother CJ Mac. Shout out to my brother. Got him on the line and they start talking. And CJ, you know, he gave us a plug whenever your book is ready. You know what I mean? Holler at me so I can give you some bullet points to help you guys out.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's about. You know what I mean? Connecting the dots now.
Right.
So
That's real. Mm-hmm.
Kane is the shit. This is a good interview. Yeah, that's cool, man. I'm glad you graced the platform, man. You got a lot of fans, and you got some classic songs, some classic hooks, and you know, so it's a blessing to even have you here, man.
And I appreciate that, brother.
You know, a lot of dudes, I used to say it all the time, a lot of dudes is too big for Kev Mac videos. And I'm like, I don't really understand it because it's just some regular conversation, and you guys got fans. You got people that want to hear what you got to say, and a lot of them want to hear the questions that I have to ask you and the dialogue that I could bring with you that most journalists or interviewers can't give you. And so to me, you're doing a disservice to your fans when you're turning me down, man.
Right. Well, some people ain't organic with it, brother. You know what I'm saying? It's about them. They don't understand. You're narcissistic. You perpetuate more insecurities with the inferiority complex. If you can't hold the conversation with a brother, this ain't about a pissing contest. This is about sharing. A lot of people don't know how to share, man.
Right.
And they too big until a virus comes and sit your ass down and you can't move.
Right.
But rich man, poor man grave is the same. So, you know. But that's why I'm glad, like, I was able to be over millions and millions of records.
Yeah.
You're a major artist, but I don't move. I don't talk like a major. I talk like a local.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because God giveth, God can snatch it up.
What?
So I take that into consideration every day.
Sorry about that. So look, I wanted to ask you this. You did a lot of songs with a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anybody out there you haven't done a song with that you would like to do a song with?
Man, I wish I could have did a song with Marvin Gaye.
With who?
Marvin Gaye.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's cats. I didn't do songs with Lil Wayne, Birdman from New Orleans, but I did songs with Master P and his brothers. I've done over like 4,000 features, but I put 1,000 up on mostfeaturedartist.com because nigga didn't want to feature back and jacking myself off. This was good enough just to inspire people and show them the legacy and educate people on cocaine. You know what I mean? So I can contribute that when Eazy-E and Above the Law, Code 187 start putting me on hooks. And when Eazy died, that was like my lifeline. That's where the money was held up. So 9 times out of 10, when I go to a studio, it'd be a Too Short or E40 in the building. I would be like, nigga, that's pimp shit. Nothing but the hog getting me. And they'd be like, nigga, we using that, nigga. So I was lucky. I would say fortunate and blessed that people catered to my signature sound, and what it did, it created a safe haven. And I just kept going, not only doing things with the brothers, but also doing things with my SA family. Shout out to all my SA homies. Doing things with them. You know what I mean? Doing things then outside, doing things with Japanese and Russia, and actually singing and Spanish, original and hasta Cuago Simón. Like, who's doing this? Like, who's doing this? So I knew I had something different. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And when you're different, and everybody is mostly, like, you know, doing the creature habit thing, that's why music is so archaic right now, because every beat sounds the same. You know what I mean? It's best to stand out instead of fitting in. And I pride myself. I said, I don't want to fit in. I want to do this. Well, they don't like that because this is crappy. Do I look like a prostitute, a hoe, or a follower? No, I'm a leader, my nigga. And leaders go down a lonely road, my nigga, when nobody understands. Yeah. So I'm glad I went to the script and kept this shit gangster with my music. And see, a lot of people get to a plateau and they lose the struggle in their mind. So that's why their music don't come out, because they lose their hunger.
Yeah.
I stay hungry. I don't care if I'm a billionaire or more. I'm going to stay hungry. I know that billion God let me borrow. It's not really mine. I borrowed it. And I think as long as you have that never satisfied hunger attitude, you're always going to be striving to get championships.
Man, I got two artists that do music for my platform, King Real and Fitzgerald Jr. What would it take for me to get you to do a verse with one of them dudes?
Oh, we can chop it up after this. Go to the round table. Chop it up. I'll give you this. Yeah.
All right. That's a good start. Good looking out for that, man.
Yeah. I work with cats, man. I work, not to cut you off. I can work with cats. And I think that's why people call me a lot. And I mean, faithfully, it's my direct messages is a blessing every week. I need a preacher. I need a preacher. Because sometimes, you know, people's price, they can't really get to that. But if they want to get to a Kokane, and my stats is even more than them, you know what I'm saying, or just as on the same level, I'm gonna always give you that fair shot. It's like a coronavirus. I'm not going to charge you top dollar for a car when it's a coronavirus. So if you need a hook from Kokane, I'm easy to talk to. I'm my own boss, me and my wife. I don't have no bodyguards. I don't have no this. It's just me, my nigga. If you want it, holler. You know, I'm easy to talk to. But make sure the business is comfortable, because we're not candy stripers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, good looking out. What I try to do, even you probably not aware, I had a magazine back in the day. Had Nipsey in there, my homeboy Cuzzy. Had Ice-T's wife on the first cover. Had Cam. Had a lot of dudes, and a lot of them hadn't been discovered yet.
Right.
And so what I like to do, and what I'm starting to do once again, well, I've been doing it for a while, but now I'm dropping a mixtape.
Right.
To help widen my audience, because like we spoke on earlier, everybody loves good music. But a lot of these independent artists, they don't know how to get in the game. They don't know how to get the exposure they need. And, you know, they start YouTube channels, they might get 600 views. So I want to help them be able to get noticed, you know what I'm saying? Because now I got a big following now that I didn't always have. Right. So I want to get some of the independent artists to get some bigger names on a song with them, and help, maybe that'll help get them discovered or help further their career.
Right.
And at the same time, it keeps not necessarily you per se, but other guys that was in the game when you got in the game. It helps keep them relevant. Oh, let's be real, man. A lot of dudes ain't popping like they was in the 90s.
Nah. I was blessed enough to have people like my crazy ass style, whatever. You know, it kept going, but we have to do that, man, because when I first did songs with George Clinton and Bootsy Collins and all those cats, we dreamed of that. We remember, we come from the era where we was at the Coliseum. We see that mothership come land down. You know what I'm saying? Stone City Band and doing all that shit. So, you know, for me to work with cats like the greats, now we're greats. All it is just connecting the dots between the OGs and the BGs. That's it.
And that's lacking a lot too. You know, I can't speak for Pomona or Centown, but where I come from and most of LA, not all of LA, because I know a couple individual gangs that just don't apply to. But most of them, it's a big separation from the older dudes and the younger dudes that's still on the block now.
Millennials. Yep. It's a big gap, but I just think that, you know, we could make a difference. Time will reveal, brother. You know, as long as we keep pressing, you know what I mean? People gonna wise up. You know, not everybody gonna wise up, but you know, that's the very same reason why we had this podium to tell them how to control your destiny. It's not about picking up a microphone. It's about handling your business to control your destiny and make some bread and feed your family and make a real business out of it. So, you know, it's like, in my humble opinion, the greatest entertainers greatest attorneys in the world is those that had to sit down and fight for their life and didn't want to be lifers and got out that bullshit. So you got to apply the same analogy to what you doing, unless it ain't gonna work. You fooling yourself. You like how the picture look. You like how the frame look, but you don't want to look at the picture. The picture is you got to sit down and get knowledge on how to have structure, how to set proposals up together. Learn about there's more money in licensing. There's different subsidiaries and avenues of business that if you just apply this one thing, B, C, E, F, D, is going to fall into place. So you got to learn about it. Once you learn about it, you'll know where to go when you get there.
Mm-hmm. Loco, you all right?
Yeah, I'm good, bro. I'm just sitting there listening, soaking it up.
All right. I know how much you love Above the Law, man. I thought you might have some questions.
Oh yeah, man. That'd be cool, man. I can't wait to see how that go with a collab with old Fitzgerald, old King Real, man. That'd be cool. Oh, they very talented, Kokane, man. They some up and comers, man. You know what I'm saying? Like Kev said, though, you know, being able to have the right, you know, connections and things like that. If you don't have no connections, you know how that go.
All right, well, you're limitless.
Yes, sir.
Not limitless, but limited. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk.
Yeah, but we run an organization. Me and my wife, shout out again to my queen, called Buddy Boy Entertainment. And these same principles, it's a blessing to roll them off to my kids and hand the baton down. You know, now we empowering them to do it at an early age and don't wait to get to a certain age and have to say better late than never. You do it now. And it's just a blessing. You know, you could tell kids, but you got to show them more than you could tell them. You know what I'm saying? And me and my wife was able to show our children, which is very important because it's always an attack on the Black family, period. You know what I mean? That's why things are going disarray, because the Black family has dysfunction. But we want to go ahead and not just talk about it, but walk the walk and be the image of something good. But at the same time, nobody got to stick up their ass. We know how to talk that talk. But at the same time, we more know how to walk that walk. You know what I mean?
I mean, you never really know when you're building a legacy for somebody else, man.
Yeah.
So that's the beauty of lending support and help to other people that may not be as successful or had a game that you might have. Look, somebody got a comment. He said, he remember flying to Atlanta, back to LA, and everybody was on the plane waiting to leave. And here comes Above the Law as late. They held the plane up in 95 or 96.
I remember that. Man, we had some crazy ass times, man. Like, man, niggas was always fighting, and you know, they you know, Ice Cube and Lynch Mob, you know, everything got better. And see, that's what the good thing about it is, that went through Death Row and the Ruthless era, and seeing all these things and being able to connect with brothers that you already know, nigga, in the club is on. Fuck you, nigga. Fuck you too, cuz. And to see niggas come back, and even though the wounds cut deep on certain things, had a strength and power to look past that. And that's what music did. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, indeed. So do y'all have anything coming up, man, in the near future? Maybe are y'all touring, or are y'all talking about getting together like a old school type, you know what I'm saying? Back in our day, it ain't, you know, which would be considered old school. Right. But like a little tour or anything going on?
Man, as soon as this virus bullshit is over, all of us go hang out. You know what I'm saying? We waiting for this thing. But I push my new album is coming out called Wake Up to Get Your Cake Up. That's coming out 2021. And then my daughter got a project called Young Colombiana. She like daddy, like daughter. She a beast. She write her own shit. And we've been molding her since she was like 11 years old. But I never did make it easy for her on purpose because I know the do's and don'ts. And she used to be in the studio just crying. I'm like, nah, go back and do that shit over. But then years later, now she's 24, she said, Dad, I really respect you. I understand that. And see, that's what you got to do with these kids too. So we got that project coming out. It's a bunch of goodies coming out. I got a OG Kokane strand coming out. We got the clothing line coming out. AOGF record, Architects of G-Funk. The Sugarcane record is coming out. Dirty OGs is out. I'm on the new Chill album called Forehead. And I'm on a new MC8 album. So all we just doing is just working, man. You know what I mean? First, it's the work. You know what I mean? And everything else is going to fall in place. So we got a lot of goodies coming real soon. Want to let too much out the bag, but that's what it is.
Have you done any songs with any East Coast artists?
Oh, tons of East Coast. Jadakiss. DML.
He said Prodigy.
Busta Rhymes. Alchemist. Wyclef. Just, you know.
Who are your favorite East Coast artists to work with?
That's tough.
Okay.
I would say Prodigy. Because Prodigy was my little bro. I was real tight with him. You know, I used to go out there in LA. New York, weeks at a time. But every time I go out there, I would always rent a Corvette and put on the LA hat with a T-shirt, some G-Vibes, you know what I'm saying? Dipping through them potholes in Manhattan, going to pick up the homie. And we grew a bond and relationship, brotherly relationship with each other. And, you know, I miss that brother because a lot of people think he had problems on West Coast, but nah, he loved West Coast music, you know. And then working with little bro Jadakiss, Jadakiss is one of the coldest. You know what I'm saying? Jada, West Coast niggas love that nigga.
Yeah, Jada fool.
Of course, DMX. I did a song with him with the homie who sing "Return of the Man." Return. So we got a remix with him. I forget the brother name. But yeah, man, I fucks with the East Coast. Then I got something with my boy, and he's from New Jersey. He a great from New Jersey. You know what I mean? So shout out to my boy New Jersey Threat. We got a song called "Welcome to the Streets of Newark." So the sound has been able to extend near, and it's a blessing and surreal that the cocaine sound has now reached the four corners of the earth. So it's humbling.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up, Kokane, man. I appreciate you a whole lot, man. It was an honor to have you on board. I look forward to having that conversation with you, however we set it up. Your cousin got my number. Shout out to your cousin for making this happen.
Yeah, shout out to Guap.
Appreciate that. Man, all I can do is tip my hat to you, man. I appreciate real brothers, man. It don't even matter if you black or you anything else. As long as you a real dude, I got a lot of respect for that, man.
Likewise, brother.
Again, I'm honored that you came on, bro.
Man, I appreciate that, man. Appreciate you, brother. Yes, sir.
I second that, man. I second that, man. Yeah, that's all right there, man. You take care of yourself, bro, man, and Godspeed, and you know, we're gonna be following you, man.
Yeah, likewise. I got your information now, so I'll be following you.
Okay.
Let's go to the round table tomorrow.
Okay.
We can chop it up and then do what we do, brothers.
Yeah,
so,
let's do that. They say, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Kev.
Yeah, most certainly. But let me say this real quick. They're saying that we just got up in here, but that means it was a good interview because we've been up in here an hour and 30 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Time flies, but go ahead, give your shout outs, bro.
Man, I want to give a shout out to you, the Kev Mac Show. My brother right here. I want to give a shout out to Chemo, Wap Don Dallas. You know, everybody from the land. I don't care if you come from Shout out to West Side. Shout out to South Side. Shout out to Angelo. Shout out to Mafia. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Ghost Town. You know what I mean? Shout out to everywhere. You know, that's in Pomona. You know, I don't want to keep name dropping, but shout out to everybody that's doing their thing. And shout out to LA, Compton, Watts, South Central. You know what I'm saying? Gardena. Shout out to the whole state of California. And I know outside the state, man, shout out to everything that's in the ghetto that's watching this here and worldwide, man. I appreciate you, brother. Continued success. May God have his favor and prosperity on you. Much love, homie.
All right, same to you. Thank you, man. And I'll be sure and get in touch with you tomorrow.
Yes, sir. And
all right, peace, bro.
Yes, sir.
Well, there y'all have it. Kokane. Kokane was in the house representing Pomona, Centown. I think I'm freezing or something. But look, we got another guest coming on. I'm going to go ahead and end this live so Kokane have his own segment. The brother wasn't doing no foul mouthing. So we shouldn't have no problems on YouTube with this video. But we'll be back on in 15 minutes, y'all. So I know y'all wanted to stick around a little longer. Go get you something to eat or something to drink. Go get you some popcorn. We'll be back in like 15 minutes. You gonna be with me, Loco?
Man, you already know I'm on board, homie. Come on, man.
Okay.
I'm the co-host. I can't go to bed on you.
All right, bro. I'll get with you.
But I do need to go smoke something. I'm in this hotel, nigga, so I do need me a 15-minute break.
All right, for sure. For sure. All right, Mackie is Maniacs. Thanks for the super chats. Sorry if I didn't get to your questions. Never got heard back from Cool Boy or J-Bone that was hooking us up. So I don't know what happened to Cool Boy, but Kokane did an awesome job by himself. I'm happy with that. See y'all in a little bit. Peace.